everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Snack and Chat. I'm Erin Taylor, your dish diva, coming to you from the Black Women's Health Imperative. And joining me today is Tiffany Phillips from the Wellness Coalition. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you for having me back again. I just always enjoy these little episodes.
Oh, me too. I know. I love chatting about food, and I love seeing all your faces. It's good to just have everybody get to know like all the lifestyle coaches that are teaching the diabetes prevention program, but also now the diabetes self-management program. So we've got a larger audience now. But really, what we talk about is just food and why we choose food that are healthy for us, why it's important, the nutrients they bring, and just kind of allow everybody to see what we like to do with a particular food.
Right.
And I will tell you, today's topic is beets. And when I was asking all the lifestyle coaches, somebody, I want to talk about beets. Here's a sign up sheet. You guys sign up if you want to do it. Crickets. Okay. And I was like, wow, okay. And I remember, and that was supposed to be the topic in January. So I remember reaching out to Christina, who wanted to do Brussels sprouts for February. And I was like, so can we do Brussels sprouts for January? Because nobody's signing up for beets. And she was like, yeah, I can understand why. And I noticed that you hadn't signed up for anything. So when I reached out to you, you were like, yeah, let's do beets. I was like, oh, thank God. Somebody out there has to like beets, right?
Beets, right. And Erin, to be honest, I probably have eaten beets like within the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. That was like my first introduction with beets like 2 years ago. And I'm like, it is an acquired taste, so I can see why. Mm-hmm. People were like, it's like, what do you do with this? And I think too, like my mom, if I asked her something about beets, like how do I prepare beets, she wouldn't know. Like growing up, she never cooked beets. And so it's like one of those things, you don't grow up with it, you're not exposed to it. So you don't know what you don't know. So I think that's one of the benefits of the Snack and Chat, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, why go try that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like maybe we'll start making people go, oh, okay, maybe I should try it again. Or if they've never tried it, let me try it for the first time.
Right.
So hopefully we can push them towards that, right?
Right. them.
Yes, exactly. And and I'm with you. I mean, beets, I've probably started eating them maybe within the last 5 years, 6 years. So it wasn't something I grew up with too. Although I will say, I remember canned beets, maybe at like a family function or something like that. And I was like, I ain't eating that. It's like the canned cranberry sauce. I don't know what that is. I'm not eating that. So that was never like something I was willing to try as a kid, Right. And so coming into adulthood, I don't even know. I might have tried them like on a salad bar. I was like, oh, let me just put some on my plate. Let me just see what they taste like.
Right.
And I was like, oh, these aren't half bad because they've got that sweetness to it. And I think some people, don't like it because of that earthiness. But, hopefully today we can kind of show people there's more to the beets than just, a salad and just eating them that way, right?
Yes.
Roasted on a salad. Because that's probably the most popular recipe you'll find.
Right.
It will pair well with citrus. So you might see like oranges or grapefruit. Like I found a really good grapefruit and beet salad, roasted beet salad. And pairing it with something more bitter, like arugula, kind of helps too, because you have that balance of that sweet and spicy or savory.
Right.
And then I always love goat cheese with it, and I know not everybody, goat cheese is another acquired taste, but feta works as well. But just kind of that combination, and you have that sweet and savory kind of going in your mouth, and that's really good. Yeah. So, but since I've started eating them, I have tried other recipes with them.
Right.
So I will let you start with your show and tell. Let's see.
My show is, I have to say, I say I cheated. Like I tried to cook beets one time, like from the vegetable, and everything just gets so stained. you know, that color, that deep red, purplish color is like all on your fingertips, on the knives, on the counter. I was like, this is more work than it's worth. So I say I cheated. I love these little ready to eat cooked beets. Out of the refrigerator section at the grocery store. And what I made today is a beet smoothie. And I was a little disappointed because I was expecting that bright red color. Like I was expecting, but to me, this is more pink. And so I was a little disappointed by that. But it was frozen. It was more.
Now it's just a drink.
Now it's like but now it's still kind of like
it's thick.
And I think it's really good. Like I paired it with some pineapple, some citrus. So I put the beets in there. There was one big one, and I just put that whole beet in there. Then I put a half a cup of pineapples, maybe like half a banana. Some lemon. I squeezed some lemon there, just trying to mute the earth.
I like that. Mute the earth.
Because if I'm honest, when I kind of feel like it puts me, let me tell you what it puts me in mind of. When I grew up in the South, in Alabama, and so we would make mud pies. And when we were little, we would eat the dirt. You know, like we would really eat the dirt. And that's what it reminds me of. To me, it tastes like dirt. It's like this real earthy.
Yeah.
So, and you can still kind of taste it, but it's not strong. You know, it's not like a strong beet flavor with the smoothie. You know, I like it. I think it's good. Now, my husband and Reese, they probably wouldn't drink it or eat them. Because Reese, as I was saying, Reese helped me make the smoothie. She was like, oh, like it does, like the scent of it, but it does taste, it smells really earthy.
Yeah.
But I like it. So again, just like some little banana, some citrus, I put the pineapples and I did everything frozen so that it would be like I'd use frozen banana, frozen pineapples, and some ice cubes to make it more like a thick, the consistency of like a slushy or like a milkshake. And so I enjoy it. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've done that before. I think I don't know that I had even seen a recipe with beet smoothies. Like when I first started doing it, but I had beets in the refrigerator and I was like, oh, they're about to go bad. And I was making a smoothie. I was like, well, I'll just throw this in here. Because I wanted some sweetness, but I didn't want to necessarily have the banana flavor. Because, you know, those work perfect to add sweetness. But we'll throw these in here. And I was like, it's not bad. So I just kind of did that just on a whim. You know?
Yeah. Now, let me ask you.
Pretty good.
There was it something you made? It's like, oh, that's not bad. Did you go back and do it again? Did you? Yeah.
So whenever I had smoothies, when I had beets in the refrigerator, I was like, oh, let me just put some in here. And with you, like same as you, I would buy the pre-roasted ones because it's a little bit easier to deal with. You know, roasting them isn't hard. It's just you can drizzle some oil on them, put some foil around it, put it in the oven, and have it baking in there on a high temperature for a while. And then when it's cooled, it's easier to remove the skin. So it's kind of like a potato in that sense, right? And you can remove the skin, but as you're removing the skin, your hands are all dyed. And so to avoid some of that, buying the cooked beets is a good option.
Right.
And you know what I mean? So you don't go through all of that mess. But,
right.
I understand. And what I made today is a little beet hummus. So again, I was a little disappointed in the color too, because I was, when you look at some of the recipes and the pictures, it's just this really vibrant, bright, fuchsia pink. And I was like, well, what happened? So with those recipes, I feel like people just cheat a little bit to make it look better in the pictures,
Right.
So you may not have the same results as those pictures, but whatever. Anyway.
Right.
And you pretty much make them the same way you would make a hummus. So you have the chickpeas in there. I added some lemon zest, some lemon juice, added some fresh garlic, minced garlic. I did add like some thyme and oregano, some fresh thyme and
Oh,
oregano in there. And then of course the tahini is your healthy fats, because that's the, sesame seed butter.
right.
Um, and just I put it in the food processor. It might have gotten a little bit brighter if I put it in the Vitamix or high speed blender. I
Mhm.
can see like tiny little chunks of beets that didn't get completely pureed, but that's fine. Um,
Right.
but it provides this like sweetness a little bit in there as the dip, but also we talk about eating the rainbow. This is just a great color to add to the rainbow.
Right.
I've got some multicolored like mini sweet peppers. I've got some cucumber in there, and then I have some of the sugar snap peas.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and so I mean, you can do any vegetable you want. I didn't do carrots just because carrots tend to be sweeter, and I just didn't want to have like the sweet on sweet. So, but carrots would work too. But it's got a really good flavor. And I made it last night, so
Oh,
like a lot of the flavor was able to meld into there. You know what I mean?
mm.
Especially with that garlic, that fresh garlic. But it's really, really good. And you don't get a whole lot of the earthiness because you have so many other components in
Bonus
there,
in there.
you
Right.
know? So,
Yeah.
and you could do a little of the beets in there or a lot. You know what I mean? And I think I used like one of the whole packages like that you got.
Right. Now, let me ask you, like, how much, like, okay, so beets have these great qualities, all these
Mm,
different benefits. How
mhm.
much of it do you have to eat to reap the benefits?
Well, I don't know. The thing is that they do have a lot of benefits, and I think they've been. I don't know that they're officially a superfood,
Mm,
but I think that a lot of people will kind of call them a superfood because they have so many of the nutrients that our bodies need. Um, so you don't really need a whole lot. I mean, you could do, just a little bit. Like if you're doing a smoothie, you could just use one of those small. I mean, those prepackaged ones are pretty small. So you could
right.
just put a little small one into the smoothie. You could even put it a half of it into there. I mean, I don't think that you need to go too far overboard. And because one of the things with beets is that they have nitrates in them, which actually help to dilate your blood vessels. And so they've
Mm.
seen there that it's had some effect on like high blood pressure levels.
Oh, wow.
So if you eat the beets, you could potentially lower your blood pressure, but it's only a temporary fix. So you would have to eat them like, on a daily basis to kind of keep that at a normal
The
level
benefit.
per se.
Right.
You know what I mean? Along with whatever else you needed to do in order to help lower your blood pressure, right? Reduce stress,
Right.
lower your sodium levels, less processed food, like all those things that cause high blood pressure. So like you don't need to have a ton of beets, and you can eat them. You can even eat them once a week and still get some of those health benefits from
Benefit.
them.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Because one of the things I like about beets is because they are a bright color, but they're also low in calories, and
Mm.
then they also add a little sweetness, right? So
And
you can go ahead.
I thought it was interesting. Like, I'm gonna have to try them again because I want to taste the sweetness in them. Like they not, but
You taste more earthy.
that goes to show everybody's palate is a little bit different in what they taste, and
Hmm.
yes, and probably, um, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I do. I guess it is a little sweetness to them. I'm thinking, but to me, the earthiness just like
Overpowers it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you like that earthiness, so
I do. I
yeah.
do. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think, when you're putting it in a smoothie and things like that, or whether you're eating the hummus, I mean, you've got like the chickpeas in there that are providing the protein, but the and fiber, but then the beets add the extra amount of fiber too. So
Right.
again, when you're looking at, just adding things in, you're adding in more healthy components, right? Instead of like taking away. So my recommendation always is like try, like if you're out and about and eating, because I know sometimes I don't want to waste the money. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't want to do a whole recipe and
Right.
then waste my money and then throw it in the garbage. If you're out and about, like I said, first time I ate beets, I was at a salad bar, and I was like, let me just try it. And I tried it by itself, and I was like, okay, it's not bad. And then I tried it with like the actual salad, like with all the other components, the salad dressing, the
Right.
peppers that were in there, onions, and so you get like this whole mouthfeel. I'm like, oh, this is really good in a salad. So,
Right.
try it in different preparations. Try a little bit in the smoothie, try some hummus. I've even seen a recipe where they do like a beet toast.
Oh.
Yeah, or beet bruschetta.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can actually, yeah, if you do a piece of toast, you can do like cream cheese. I almost tried it this morning because I had avocado toast, and I was like, oh, I should slice up some beets and see how that tastes.
Right.
But avocado toast, you put goat cheese on there, but you just slice up the beets, put them on top of your bread, and you can sprinkle it with salt, pepper, or some fresh herbs, or if you have avocado, maybe you just sprinkle a little bit of cheese, feta or goat cheese on top of that, and then you can eat it that way. I
Right.
mean, so again, you're getting a lot of different flavoring components coming in as opposed to just eating the beets by themselves.
Right. And that texture too, because they're not mushy. They have like bite
No.
to them,
Yeah.
So I like that about them too. You're adding to, when you were talking about a sandwich, I saw a recipe, or the toast, we'll put them on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just make your sandwich and put them on there. And then they come pickled. Sometimes they're pickled.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be like a pickle substitute. They give you some
Mm-hmm.
crunch and texture. Because I like textures, different
Yeah.
textures when I'm eating. So
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. I mean, because you almost, depending on what you have on there, you almost have like a salad on the sandwich, right? If you have like the lettuce and
yes,
tomato and onion, and you just add a little beet to it.
exactly.
I like that. I
Yeah.
know, because what happens is when I buy the beets too, sometimes I don't eat them fast enough, because if I don't eat a salad every day, and I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do with these
Do with
beets?
this.
So I
Yeah.
love having this idea about it, because okay, like tomorrow, and now I got 2 of those packages.
Right.
Those beets. So I'm like, I have a whole nother one that's unopened. So what am I gonna do with it? Salad. And now I'm like, okay, well, let me try it with my avocado toast tomorrow.
So, that would be good.
Take a little picture of it, and this is a winner. Because sometimes when I do like a like say, because I had a fried egg on my avocado toast this morning, and so sometimes when I'm doing like a breakfast sandwich, I love to have like a little bit of jelly on there to
Yes.
just kind of get that like sweet and
Sweet.
savory.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering if like the beets would add that to it
Oh,
for
it
me. So
probably
maybe with the
would.
egg and the beets and like, okay,
Yes.
I'll have to try that
That's something.
tomorrow.
Yes, I think that would. You have to try that. We want the
Yeah.
put it in
Right.
the BWHI app. It's like, here's the
Right. Okay. So this is what I came up with.
right.
Right.
In the morning when you're making it, just have your little notepad so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can share the recipe with us.
Because I have some goat cheese. I could put some red onion on there. Oh,
That sounds delightful.
that sounds really good. I know. And I might make it just an egg sandwich with time. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you guys an update. Well,
Right.
it's funny you were talking about Reese and how she's 4 years old, right? She's still 4.
5.
She turned 5.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, so with the kids and them liking beach, I mean, of course, it's obviously something that is an acquired taste. So they have to try it several times before they end up liking it. But I will tell you, when Aiden was younger, after he started eating, he was probably about a year old, and like I would get like those dried, like in order to get him to eat like the green stuff when he stopped eating like greens and salad, and like he didn't like the mouthfeel, I would do kale chips. And so he loves kale chips, but they also had beet chips. And so for a while he was killing those beet chips. And then one day, when they start getting to that phase, he was just kind of, because at first I was like, yes.
Yes.
Like, once you start biting on it, like it starts to kind of your saliva adds a little bit moisture to it, so you start getting a little bit more of that feel of the beet. And I think that was when he was like, I don't
no,
like
thank
it.
you.
So I was really happy that he was eating it for a while, but then I guess
Right.
fell off. But it's a work in progress. He sees me eating it, and sometimes like, let me try. So
Right.
as long as he sees me as the example, then he sometimes will be more willing to try it. But
Yeah.
that's another way to make the beets too, is to make some
Chip.
beet chips out of them,
Mm.
and they do sell them that way too.
Right.
Yeah, like the same company that sells like the kale chips, they have beet chips as well.
Oh, I have to look at those.
They also have like cauliflower chips, which were really good. Really, really good. Yeah.
Really good.
So I mean, like, if you want that crunch and you want those chips, like you can do it with
Right.
vegetables and not have they're not deep fried. You can bake them, you know what I mean? And just make them nice and
Right.
thick, put them in the air fryer. There's a lot of ways you can do that.
Right. And I have
Mhm.
to tell you, I decided to go with the smoothie. I was thinking of you. It's like when you start in the kitchen with Any Dish Diva segment, it's like, let's get the drink going first. And so I think it kind of makes you're in the diabetes prevention program. It's like half the plate vegetables. You got some chicken, but you need something to kind of make it more festive sometimes and
Yeah,
inviting. It's like I
right.
got this meat and this over here, but if I have a little drink, it
Mhm.
kind of adds volume and makes it
Mhm.
feel fancy.
Right. Right. Put in a wine glass,
You're right. I do that
something
too.
sweet.
Yes, yes. I'm known to have a wine glass and I started to have
Mhm.
one today. It makes it makes the meal feel like it's delicious, even if you're like, I eat this again. It
Right.
just adds some, you know, some spice.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, and even like having like a beet juice, like if anybody out there does juicing,
Oh,
I mean
that
the beet juice is a great way to get a lot of nutrients in, and to help cut with that earthiness, you can juice it with some lemon, some
hmm
ginger, or
yes.
even like some pineapple or orange, and that just is.
Oh,
There's Costco here in Hawaii. Costco they had this beet ginger. I feel like it was like a beet ginger lemonade juice, and I was like,
oh,
well, let me just get this. It was so good.
I
But
bet.
and I just do a little bit at a time because with the juices,
Yeah,
they can be high in sugar,
yes.
and I think they also added sugar into this anyways. But
Uh,
it was so good, and I was like, all I need is just this little shot, you know what I mean, of it, and it just like warms my soul, especially with that ginger in it. Oh, it was so
yes.
good. Even experimenting with the juicing aspect of it is great too. And there's a lot of store bought beet juices you can find as well.
Right. But that's a good point to look at it, turn like turn it around, look at the label, the nutrition
Yeah.
facts label and see, like, where's this sugar coming from? Is it from the
Mhm.
beet? Or
Right.
out of
Or are they
added.
adding in like 10 grams of sugar for this small little 8-ounce
Right.
bottle?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. Well, I know, and beets have been trending, the past couple years. Because have you seen like the pills or the beet powder? Like I
No.
keep seeing, I always get these ads because I'm always looking at health and wellness stuff. So as Google is stalking me, they're like sending
Yes.
me these ads. But it's they have like powdered uh like beets in a powder form or a pill form now, because
Okay.
like I said, like there people are dubbing it as a superfood because it has so many nutrients in it that our body needs, that now people are trying to make sure they get it all the time. So I mean
Right.
that's another option for you too, like if you go that route with like the powder, you put that into the smoothie as well.
Right. Yes.
That's
And this is
another way to look at it.
right. And I think it's just amazing how food truly is medicine. Like
Hmm.
food has so many different properties, and so often I think, and I guess it's probably just the way we are in the world today. It's like the first thing is medicine. You think
Yeah.
medicine instead of like, hey, You want to lower your blood pressure, eat some beets. It's like, no, here's a pill, you know, instead of looking at the diet and what you're taking into your diet. So it's just always amazing. One of the things I enjoy about the snack and chats is just like really learning about the benefit, like what is in food, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I just think it's amazing. This little round thing, this little beet has these properties in it. So yeah.
Right. Well, it's like none of this stuff was made by mistake. Like it was made
Right.
for a reason, right?
Right.
And that's why, you know, we eat it. And I agree with you. I mean, I wish it was kind of the opposite of, so what are we putting in our body that's causing? Because it's more of a cause and effect thing as opposed to just kind of treating the symptoms, right? With a pill.
Right.
Like, let's see what we can do to like get this blood pressure down. You know,
Right.
let's incorporate some different foods or, you know, that kind of thing. So
Right. Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yes.
But one day they will get there. I mean, I think medicine is starting to realize that there needs to be this other component to, you know, and that's where health coaches come in and lifestyle coaches come in because it's that mindset that needs to change. It's not necessarily like I'm gonna take a pill and everything's gonna be okay because it's not.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, there's still side effects that happen with that medicine, or it's not going to completely treat the problem. You know, so there has to be like some shift in the mindset and the shift in the lifestyle, and that's what we're here to talk about. You know, and to understand why we're eating the food we're eating, like why you should eat beets. You know, or you know, if you eat broccoli on a regular basis, understanding like, oh, this is doing this for my body. You know what I mean? So I love kind of talking about that why aspect. You know, it's not just they're pretty, they're red. You know, I mean, they're a vegetable, they, you know, whatever. But there's just so much more to the food and what it's doing to our body.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Reese. I know. Well, look, I kept expecting Aiden to come busting through the door at some point. That's okay. This is the real world that we live in right now, right?
Right.
We work at home, and we got kids at home. We're trying to do all kinds of things. So.
All kinds of things. Right. IRL in real life. Like this is
real life. I know. Thank you for letting us know that we're in the reality that we're in, Reese.
Right.
Well, Tiffany, as always, this has been a pleasure. Talking with you. I love talking food. I love talking recipes. I love talking life. So look forward to doing it again soon.
Me too.
Yeah. Until next time, folks, when we post this to the BWHI app, we'll make sure we include some of the recipes as well. Yeah. But until next time, guys, have a great day and healthy eating to you guys. Bye. Bye.